Good day and welcome to Boone in the Woods and in the Home, your weekly guide to all things hunting, business strategies, and the art of curating a beautiful home. Join us as we blend the thrill of hunting and insightful business tips, learn how to create a meticulously curated home. Plus, we'll infuse our faith and scriptures to inspire and uplift you every step of the way. Let's embark on this journey together.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel, and this is my wife, Lisa, and together we are the owner and operators of Boone in the Woods, a hunting farm property management business in Western Kentucky, where we focus on food plots, general maintenance of our clients' hunting properties. We also specialize in food plot mixes, mineral mixes, which can also be found on bootpodcast.com.
We're also the owners and operators of Lisa Boone Designs. I'm a retailer of high-quality artisan products that can help you upcycle thrifted items or maybe things that you already have in your home. I also have lots of tutorials that I teach on my social media platforms, so be sure to follow all of the links. You can find them as well as my online shop on bootpodcast.com. Welcome to Boone in the Woods and in the Home. I'm so excited to have my friend Crista Bugg here. I've known her for several years since I've moved here to Kentucky. She was actually my kid's teacher for a spell, and we took a nice trip with the students, which was so much fun. And now she's a local business owner, and I'm so proud of her. I love her store, and I can't wait for you to learn more about it. So let's go ahead and get started. Crista, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. I'm Crista Bugg. Like Lisa just said, I'm a former school teacher. Used to be a preschool director as well here in town. Other than that, about 2 years ago now, I decided, let's buy a store.
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
Spontaneous.
Yes.
So it was an existing store. It'd been here in town, in Madisonville, downtown for what, like 20, 25 years?
Wendy King had it since I think 2002 or 2000, maybe. I can't remember exactly.
Okay.
She'll have to correct me on that. And she started in a little building on the corner in Hanson.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yes. And she started just simply as a florist. So she started the Mark of Distinction there in Hanson. And then they moved a few years later to Seminary Street.
Yes, that's
where a big 2-story home. Beautiful old home. And then they got a whim about now 8 or 9 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. Time slips.
Time flies.
Time slips. Down on 21 South Main.
Okay.
And they were there for about 7 or 8 years. So that's when I stepped in.
Yeah. And the Mark of Distinction, the Mark of Distinction is a great store, and it was a great store. It was a floral shop, but it was also home decor.
Yes.
And of course, you have an awesome flair about you with all of the home decor things and, putting things together. And I was so excited when I found out. I was shocked, but I was so excited for you. But now you've relaunched.
Yes, we did.
You bought a new building. It is massive, huge. And when you had your open house, after we had the open house here, I went over there and it literally took my breath away. I was teary-eyed. I could not believe how beautiful it was. And I tell everyone to go over there because I love that store. It's so beautiful. As a matter of fact, this is,
yes.
Ari bought this for me at your store for my birthday in September. So
down here on 21 South Main, it was a shotgun store.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful old building. Most people know it by the name of the Vogue. Years ago, it was a dress store.
Okay.
Now, that was prior to me.
Mm-hmm.
After we went to market and I saw what could be, that's when I finally said, I can't do this in this little store.
There you go.
So another friend of mine, the Hunts in town, I knew they were going out of business with Gather.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it was Blue 21.
Yes.
The ice cream,
right,
and all that. And so I just contacted Laura and said, "What you going to do with your building?"
Smart.
Yes. She said, "Well, kind of been waiting for you to call."
Now that's a God moment.
That's the God moment.
Yes.
I have always said, and I'll cry, as the old cliche, when God shuts a door,
He always opens another one.
I say He may not open a door, but there's a window.
Yes.
And there was a huge window open.
Mm-hmm.
So we were very blessed and didn't have to do a lot of renovation inside.
Yeah.
I walked in and with my designer, Desi, and then my husband, and I said, this is it. We both had goosebumps, and we were like, we didn't even want to go back to the other store.
Wow.
We just knew that was the place to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was, you could feel, and I know we'll talk about that in a little bit, but you could feel the Holy Spirit in that place.
Yeah.
Because
they had been a prayer center for so long.
Center. Yes.
Yeah. Mm. And it was for you. He wanted you to know that this was the next step.
Right.
Because it was a big step.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, a huge step. When we walked in, and I had gone in there several times over the years, but when you walk in and you see right up on the left side is the scripture, Matthew 18:20, that says, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that, it was like, okay. And then when we started renovating a small bit that we did, we had to knock out a closet wall. And on the facing, there were scripture and words of affirmation.
Wow.
And I just stood there and cried like I am now. It was very heartwarming. Yeah. And you knew right then that this is where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
You pray about it and you pray about it and you think, you want to hear that answer. Mm-hmm. Well, not only did I hear it,
I saw it.
I saw it.
Mm-hmm. So your mission emphasizes a helping hand to people and creating a tranquil atmosphere. And so that's where that comes from, I'm sure. Yes. But elaborate a little bit more about your mission and how it translates to the day-to-day operations and the experiences that you offer at Gather at the Mark.
Couple of things make me think there. We used the word, we took the mark of distinction and we took Gather, what Barbie and Rush Hunt had used.
Right.
And I wanted to blend those and honor her or honor them for that. And there's not a negative connotation in the word gather.
No, I love that word.
Yeah. So, and since we are an event place as well, people will be gathering.
Right.
We kept that and just used then Wendy's, the Mark, Gather at the Mark. And people have thought that was just brilliant. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, it literally came to me in the middle of the night, as you know me and have known me for a few years. On my email, there's a quote under my name. It's kindness. It costs nothing, but it means everything. People are going through so much in life, and it doesn't matter if it like somebody getting hurt.
Yes.
You just never know what somebody's going through. So when people come through your door, just as you do, show them just that little bit of kindness. That's all they want.
Yeah.
And I don't care what they buy. I don't care if it's a $5 item or a $5,000 item.
Right.
It doesn't matter. But just show the kindness and spread that kindness. I think that's what Jesus asked us to do.
That's right.
And
that's right. He says, be kind.
That's right. And, that's my number one goal in life. I have taught my children that since they could learn anything or understand. So, that's my mission. And I make sure that my team members are on board with that.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Because the culture of a store comes from the head. You're the visionary. You're the head of that store. How do you make sure that is communicated, that is instilled in your staff? How many staff do you have now?
We have 6.
Okay.
And some, most are part-time. Desi and I are there pretty much every day.
Right.
I still go back to teaching because that's where my heart started years and years ago. But now this is something I've always wanted to do, but I'll be honest with you, when I got in college and realized that that interior design involved a lot of math, that's when I went, oh,
Yeah.
Okay, we may change here.
Okay. Okay.
So I steered toward teaching, which, in elementary school, you don't get into the algebra twos and the geometries and all that in great detail. Okay. I'm telling on myself here, but my husband would go, she's right. But when I was teaching, even my preschoolers, you want them to be kind.
Yes.
You want them to be able to cooperate with everyone. They say in preschool and kindergarten, they're just learning to share.
Right.
Well, that's part of all that.
Exactly.
And so it's just something that I have lived by all my life. It's not something I really have to, I don't want to sound like I'm patting myself on the back, but my mother was a very kind person. Everybody would always say she'd never heard a flea. Well, she'd spank pretty hard.
But, well, the Bible says to train up a child, and she used a rod of correction. So.
That's true. But I think it's my expectations. And even when I was teaching middle school, if you can remember back, I had those middle schoolers who can be and are known to not be the kindest.
They all got along.
Yeah, they all got along.
And they loved you and they respected you.
But, it was because I said, and I think they just knew that whatever goes on somewhere else, you don't bring it in this classroom. If you are kind, it comes back to you. It's kind of like you reap what you sow.
Yes. And
I just feel like if you're kind, there's no reason why anybody else would or should be unkind to you.
Yeah.
So
I love that. I love that. I think customer service and hospitality is so huge for me. And so I love to walk into a store and you're greeted and you're made to feel like you're wanted. That's one of the themes that we've been talking about in our podcast. Like, let people feel that they're included, that they're not left out, that, that they're loved, that they're wanted, and that there's room in the table.
Yes, for everyone. That's the largest part of our store. Like when you first come in, we've created an environment where it looks like your home.
It's like so beautiful.
Like a family room or your entryway. And then we also have like a dining kitchen area. And I think it's just that you create that warm and inviting area and an atmosphere.
Yes. And
people want to come.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
Because you're creating an experience is what you're doing. And, that's the best thing that we could do for people is to make them feel proud of what's here in our town.
Yes.
And invite others, because that's how your business will grow. The benefit of that is your business will grow because people are going to bring other people. Like I tell everybody about your store.
Well, I tell everybody about yours too.
So
you took the most beautiful pictures during my open house. Really? You did. And I've used them on my website.
I'm glad that you did. That's awesome. I walked around and it took me a minute because I was teary-eyed and there was a lot of people there and I closed the store here to go over there. So I knew I had to come back and I had to make my eyes focus, and then I walked around and I took the pictures because my intention was everyone has to see this.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to experience this store.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I wanted. So that warms my heart. We are not, or I am not in business. My husband always says, did we make payroll today? But, I don't take this business that I have as, this is going to make me a millionaire.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's not what I do this for. It's for our community.
Yeah.
It really is. And our region, not just Madisonville and Hopkins County, but we have people from all over the region come, and I really want it to become a destination.
Yeah.
Now, we're not going to become like Patty's, you know, down at Grand Rivers, but with everybody combined in our whole community, we could.
That is what I think. Why not? Why can't we do it? It starts with the local businesses. I'm a firm believer of that. And we could make it a destination place, because if you think about Hopkins County, we're the biggest town in Hopkins County. And so all of the outskirts towns, where are they going to go shop? Right now, they're going to the bigger cities, but we can have them come here, and we could even have people from the bigger towns come here.
Right.
Because what you have is extraordinary. Yeah. And I would travel to go to that store if I didn't live here.
In the year and a half, almost 2 years now, you see people coming in and out from all over the country.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving weekend, that week right before Thanksgiving, I thought, you know, again, teacher, I need a map in here that people can pin where they're from. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay.
That's genius. That's awesome.
Yes, genius. So anyway, I found one and put it up on the wall right behind the counter, and people come in and they pin. Would you believe? Now, that was Thanksgiving weekend.
Okay.
So a lot of people, you know, coming in to visit relatives here in town. And then through the Christmas holidays, and even now, we have had somebody from the first person, actually, let me back up. The first person was from Canada.
Oh, wow.
And she said, I'll never forget, she said, but I can't even, it's like up above the frame. I said, well, don't pin my wall. We have had every single state pinned except 6, I believe, now.
And that's crazy. We're in Madisonville, Kentucky. But I did learn, you know, my daughter worked at the truck stop for a little bit, and she would tell me that she would get Russians and people from all different countries. I'm like, what? Because they were driving off and they would just get off because that's a major gas station.
Right.
And I'm like, you know, if they only knew about the beautiful shops that we have here, then maybe they would stop here.
Right.
And that's why it's so important for us to get the word out and work together and collaborate to let people know what we have.
And so from that map, it's made me tell our mayor, get over here and look at this. You know,
great idea.
Look at this. We have people from all over the country coming here, but we also had somebody from Norway.
Wow.
So, you know, I'm Alaska, Hawaii, you know, so it is amazing to me the amount of people that are diversified that come here.
Yeah.
And then we also, people from Nashville are hearing about our little shop.
See?
And coming up.
Right. That's what
or from Paducah or from Bowling Green.
Exactly.
I get a lot of Evansville customers.
Right.
And that's really what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
And that's why we wanted to expand and go into more of the interior and design and decor.
I love that.
Because we don't really have that in town.
No.
I think there's people that kind of do it on the side.
Yes.
But then to have the store, people like to see and feel. So it's...
Yeah. But it's also the feels, you know, like the environment that you're creating is, I think, more important than the product. Like the product is great, but it's the warm environment that's going to bring in the people and your faith, because you instill that in everyone that you come encounter with and in your employees. I mean, I think that that's a major part. How would you say that you incorporate your faith into your business?
It's very simple with most people that come through our door. We have had people that come through the door and literally look at us and say, either they'll say, are we still in Madisonville?
Yes.
And we have had people say, I can feel the presence of the Holy Spirit in here. What is this place? And I'm not talking about just 2 or 3 people. I'm talking about 2 or 3 to a half a dozen people a week.
Wow.
Will say that.
Yeah.
Or they will just break out in prayer. And it's amazing. I think I've Facebooked a few of them. There is an area that people like to just go and sit in the beach, lake, water area. I usually have some calming music on there, on the TV and video and all that. And they go in there and they sit. And I've had several people say, I just needed a moment.
Oh my goodness.
I just needed a moment.
Yeah.
And they said, we thought we were coming in here to shop.
Yeah.
But we just needed a moment.
So okay, so we didn't get a chance to talk about this. Your store is set up in themes.
Yes.
So talk about that. Like why you did that.
I could say it's intentional. It was pretty. I mean, I'm trying. You make me think.
Yeah.
It's intentional. After we went to market, like I said, we had a shotgun store, and it's like when you go to market and there's 17 floors, and just
it's
aisles
overwhelming,
and rows, and hallways. You get lost in there. And when you look, and I said to Desi Yoder is my designer. I said, Desi, we can do this. We just need the space. Mm-hmm. And so when you go and you see these beautiful showrooms and you think, I want to take all of it back with me.
Yeah.
So, but you can't. Mm-hmm. And so we just simply thought, okay, what do we want to focus on? What have people asked for? And now that's just in the first year of me doing this, but Desi has been doing this for 30 years.
Okay.
And has been all over the country doing this. She's been in Madisonville, Hopkins County for about 8 to 9 years now.
Okay.
So she knows the area. She knows a lot of people. But because she's been in other areas, she can draw on, hey, let's bring this in. This really worked when I lived in Pennsylvania, or this really worked when I was in Colorado, or, so let's change this up a little bit. And you got to go with the trends too.
Yes.
But so I knew sympathy lines, we have to have that. Mm-hmm. So we knew we wanted that. But a friend of mine told me, don't call it sympathy, call it the room of restoration. And that's what we call that room.
Okay.
Because there's things in there, not just, for bereavement.
Right.
So it's our room of restoration.
So let's talk about, you have the retail store. You kind of touched on the event stuff. Can you share some information about your event space and what your plans are for it?
Yes. We have an event space that can seat or have a capacity of, I think it's 120 or 125.
I'm telling you, y'all, this store is huge.
Yeah, it's huge. We've gone from about, don't quote me on this, but I think was around 2,000 square feet to 8,000. But we've got the space. We've got a sound system. We've got a stage.
Yeah.
TVs that, if they need to show a video or anything, we're ready, set,
hooked up.
We are.
Hooked up.
We are.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this on the local radio station, 103.5 The Light, and you didn't know that we had an event center here in Madisonville for small venues or medium-sized venues even, you can contact Gather at the Mark for more information. And if you're listening on the podcast app, all of the information will be in the show notes. What are the 3 things that set you apart from competitors? I hate to say competitors, because we're all in this together, but what sets you apart from other businesses?
Well, that's funny that you said that about competition. When I first bought this, I went to what people would consider some of my competitors. Mm-hmm. And I said, look, I'm looking into purchasing the Mark of Distinction. And I don't want it to be a competition. I want us to work together. Mm-hmm. And one of them is a real close friend of mine.
Okay.
And I said, I'm not going to play the game of, oh, she's got that, but I'm going to get it anyway. This is a small town.
It is.
It's not a huge town. Mm-hmm. And when you carry the same products, you're defeating yourself already. So, and I'll go, okay, 2 or 3 times a year, or they'll come to my store and make sure. And when we go to market, we'll talk.
Yeah.
And when there's a new line out, I just feel like this is, it's a business venture for us all.
Yeah.
That we want to all be successful.
That's right.
And if I don't have something in our store, if I don't have it, I will call down to other stores and ask, hey, do you have?
Yeah.
And I'm sending them your way.
Yeah.
And they reciprocate and do the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's just, like I said, kindness spreads if you just scatter it a little bit.
That's right.
3 things that really stand out in my mind, and not that other stores don't do it, too, but because we are a large facility, we can carry a larger selection of quality items, and have that selection of various things rather than having just a small selection for people. So people have been very responsive to that.
Yeah.
Our customer service, I've been here for 31 years. Everybody that works for me, it seems like whoever comes through the door, one of us knows the customer that's coming in. So, and if you don't, you get to know them. So it's the rapport, I think, that we build with our customers. Yeah. And I don't even really like to call them customers. If you're on my, no, I don't even call them. No, it's like that teacher in me. Yeah. It's always, hello, friends. Yeah. And I do think everybody that comes through the door is my friend or could be my friend. Yeah. Why not? I really do. And then I'll tell you my third thing is my team. I have an awesome team that works with me. Yeah. When we're all on the same page and we want to help, that's what makes us different. Yeah.
I mean, because honestly, they understand that they represent you, they represent the store, and they're representing the town. Because if you're having so many people come from many different states, how important is that? That's how we can become the best town on earth, is that customer service, the hospitality, the kindness, the love. Right.
Because if they go out of even if they say they visit 6 or 7 stores, businesses in town, and every single one of them greets them nicely, but one of them doesn't.
I know.
That's what sticks.
I know.
That's what sticks in their mind.
So important. Yeah. Customer service is important.
It is.
And I'm
genuine. Genuine.
Yes. Authenticity. We talk about that a lot. Yep. When I first moved to Madisonville, I didn't see that. And it's always been a huge part of me. So I'm so glad to see the shift and the change and the new blood, and, it spurs everybody on. Yeah. Iron sharpens iron. And I just love that. For those who haven't experienced Gather at the Mark, what would you like them to know, and how would you invite them to discover the unique treasures and experiences that you offer at Gather at the Mark?
Well, as I said earlier, I love it when people come in, and you've done a good job when people come in and go, are we still in Madisonville?
Yeah.
And it just warms my heart, because you want to everybody intrinsically wants that pat on the back of, oh, you've done a great job. And it's more of, I did a great job for you. Yeah. To make you feel welcome and that you want to come. Yeah. So it's more of not, oh, you did a great job. It's, wow, this makes me feel great. This makes me feel comfortable. I want to come here. Yeah. So it's that. And then I want people to know, not only are we doing events, but we're wanting to get more involved in interior designing and decorating. Okay. So letting them know that we, not only the products in our store, we can get anything.
You can provide the service.
Yes, we can provide the service, the products, and, go into their homes. We decorate a lot at Christmas. Okay. We've done the hospital for different events and things, and then in people's homes. And I enjoy that more than the other parts of my job, honestly. Yeah. Going in and creating an environment that they want. Everybody wants to feel comfortable in their own home. But sometimes people think, oh, my home's not that great, but they don't know what to do.
Right.
We all have different talents. So I want to really get involved in that a little bit more and elevate them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So again, all of her contact information is going to be in the show notes. If you're local, then you just have to stop in there. You're open what hours?
We are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 2.
So thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking.
Be sure to tune in all of the podcast episodes previous and subscribe to the future ones on boonepodcast.com.